What is Team 2? We all know communication and leadership are the key skills for job in the corporate world. The objective of Team 2 is to promote communication, collaboration, public speaking, social and leadership skills. Why Team 2? Through Team 2, we're connecting new generation. Team 2 is for collaboration. There are lots of experience within the group itself. For higher studies or jobs, you can get guidance. People within the community can help each other. Team 2 is for communication. We have planned approach for communication and skill development with projects. Team 2 is for leadership. We're interacting with leaders as guest speakers to our session and provide a chance for discussing with them. So set aside an hour every weekend for self-development. We have two streams at present, technology stream and communication stream. So please join and grow with us. Today we have guest speaker, Mr. Shamsudheen. Let me call Tia to introduce the guest speaker. Thank you.
Everyone, I'm Dia. Today I'll be introducing you to our guest speaker.
Sorry, Dia, you are there? I think your sound is. Dia,
Can you hear me?
Can you disconnect and come back? Or?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Our guest speaker today is Mr. Shamsudheen. Mr. Shamsudheen is an educationalist, advisor, trainer, and writer. He is currently working as a CEO of Creative EduCity Palakkad, project director of Seed Global School Maranjeri, and academic advisor and etiquette trainer to multiple schools at Kottakkal, Kuttipuram, and Kasargod. He is highly professional and result-driven intellectual with vast experience as teacher, coordinator, teacher trainer, and principal. He has served as a teacher and administrator in NIMS Dubai, Oxford, Dubai, and served as principal of Hilltop Public School, Wadi Husna Public School, Ideal International School, Sir Syed Senior School, KMM Senior School, and Delhi International School. He is a master trainer and propagates holistic education with wide experience in the field of education for the last 25 years, international experience, and love for research in education. He was rewarded with laurels like Best Teacher Award and National Celebrity Teacher Award. Today, he is going to give us a talk on holistic education. Sir, we are honored to have you here with us today. Over to you.
Thank you, Dia. Thank you for the nice introduction of me. I hope that I am well audible to you. Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So when I was called by my friend Mr. Ashraf, we were schoolmates, and introduced me this team to talk, and said that to talk and to interact with these learners, researchers, new career, and all like. People or participants are there in this particular platform, and I could learn it that many eminent professionals could furnish this platform, and it's my luck. Let me appreciate this attempt and express my sincere thanks to the organizers of this team to talk. See, I was given an instruction to give an introduction about me. I'm Mr. Shamsudheen Kunnamrat, belongs to Malappuram district in Kerala, India, definitely. And I got my primary education from village LP school. After that, really, now I will connect my talk with my subject, holistic education. Because you know that in a village, when we are growing up, like when our parents feel like we are okay, fit for schooling, we will be taken to school for admission. And most of my friends of that time, their birth month is April or May, because that's fixed in school register. They do that job. Like you are okay now, 5 years old. So I joined the school. I don't know whether it is at 4 years, when I was 4 years old or 5 years old, like joined in the school. And I was doing with that as a part of life only. But when I completed my first standard and joined in UP section, 5th standard, my father took a strong decision to lift us from Kerala to Maharashtra. He didn't complain about our studies. We were not good in studies, like me, my brother, and all. But he was not complaining about it. Rightly, it was a holistic attitude. He lifted us to Maharashtra, and we were forced to have an entrance examination there in central school, military school it is. So naturally, you know that it was totally flop, and he told us this. He was showing every morning like these children are going to school. You see that. That's what education. That's what, and he gives support for us to learn. And 2.5 years there in Maharashtra, and came back and completed 10th standard. 10th standard after. Really, that was another time we needed to have an advice. Yeah. We needed to have an advice like which option should go for. In that time, for pre-degree, we had first group, second group, third group, fourth group like options. No much idea about which all subjects are there in each group. Like what will be our leading after this pre-degree. Nothing like that. So I took advice from one of the young learned man nearby. He told me, you take third group better. I- and he advised that it will be joyful for you and learn. So join for third group. Then after completing, pre-degree, I did my first job. Actually, Mr. Ashraf was the employer. I don't know whether he remember it or not. Mr. Ashraf, told me like I have a Tagore Study Center. If you can take class there, let me say that was the first job, 2 months only. Then I joined for degree, then PG. PG after I went for BA. Now, this time actually, PG, degree PG time, college time, it was a socially involved time also for me, politically involved time for me. Actually, it was a time when I was thickly thinking about socialism, communism, and all. Just thought to have to fight against the injustice in society, to teach the people about the right condition against inequality and all. Really, let me tell you, we were involved in a fight against English education also, not against English, rather English medium education, which is creating two types of, people in our society. Like, but see, after completing my BA, I had to fly from India, and the first job I got, organized job I got in a school there in Dubai, that's an English medium school. I'm narrating this little, elaborate for my dear students, those who are doing, my young learners, dear young learners, and recently job got youths. See, when I got job there in school, it was well, very secure job, but still, I could not address the inner questions of me because my philosophies, my thoughts, my policy, everything was against that system. Then 4 days after, I told the principal of the school that I'm moving out from here. I cannot tolerate this job. He said, "What foolishness you are doing? You got a good chance, you came on a visit visa and you are getting a good job here, and why you are quitting your job?" I said, my policies are not permitting to stay. When I stepped out from that school, these 3 days, it was actually, I was horribly haunted with lots of things because if I am not taking up that job, I will have trouble. Definitely, I will have lots of troubles. My mission will not be completed, and anything like. But then 3 days after, I called back the principal and joined back there. There again, I joined back to my job. Then the job developed as my career. From the career, I worked 12 years there. Around 11 years when I completed in that school as a teacher. Then I thought that I should get a share in administration. I should get a share in administration. That means from job, I developed as a career and career to profession. My professional interest for administration. And I found there is no space much for that there because already established delegates are there for that. But I got a share as coordination. In between, I got a share partially in Oxford School also. So I decided to leave Dubai and came back to Kerala, joined as the principal of a school, I mean Hilltop School, this is actually development from career to profession, and it is actually moving to my passion. My passion is administration. When I worked in 6 schools as the principal, I understood that I have covered that passion well. Now it's time for me to move to my mission. And then I started getting connected with lots of group of institutions for giving academic directions, academic advices, and all. I started having what you call these learning on schools and systems and all. It was actually I was started that the research in holistic education, and I thought to propagate holistic education. So now, see, when I was narrating these all things, I told you from my education to my job, and job to my career, career to my profession. Profession means to satisfy my passion, then profession to my mission of life of propagation. So people ask me this question, like when I address the teachers, mostly I address students, senior students and teachers, they ask me like, what do you mean by holistic? Here, when I told about the topic, when I discussed with Mr. Ashraf, he told me like, what will be your interest? I said nothing, like my interest is my life. My interest is life of the people. People long for having joy in their life. People long to have peace in their life. People long to have pleasure in their life. But we find most of the people, they are not getting that. Even after achieving all the targets of life, they are not achieving. It's why, because this is actually because they are not approaching things in a holistic way. When you are approaching in a holistic way. In case of education, if your education is capable of addressing your body, your mind, your soul, I mean your actions, your thoughts and your feelings, you are at that point. If you are getting that education rightly, you will be capable of addressing your inner questions. Your joy will be defined. Your job also will be defined. Your satisfaction you are defined. This is what actually holistic concept is, when you are walking out from you to all others in the society. A relevant question comes here when I'll connect this with some philosophies too. I know that people are not interested in philosophies and all. Nowadays, people are thinking about very immediate reactions and actions. Like that's the difference. I feel like new generation, old generation. See, we teachers always complain about this thing, that new generation, the biggest problem of new generation, the difference in their the values and practice of their life. I'm not complaining about them. I appreciate all generations, because there is a role in their environment. When I said that when I was, we were not doing well in 5th standard, father lifted us to Maharashtra, and we were forced to write entrance examination in a military school where we could not get, and he was showing all children in the morning by saying they are going to school. You see that is how school is. Actually, what he did is that he modified the environment. That modification of environment actually for a change, for being more broad concept, that's not getting to many people. When you are capable of defining your environment, you should be capable of modifying your environment also. In present, career and in professional life also, I meet lots of youths. When I talk to them, heart to heart, when I talk to them, they complain about lots of things. See, I don't want to talk in a typical way, maybe like a professional way. Rather, I want to talk to you about life. I want to talk to you about the pleasure of life. I want to talk to you about what I said, like developing. Some people, they continue their job only, the whole life job. How horrible it will be. They won't develop from job to career. Career, of course, long term, but long term it is. But at the same time, your passion cannot be fully recognized in the career. It's possible when you come to the profession, but very rare people, professional. They are professional. Now, my sector is, education sector. now when this online education started, now because of this pandemic, I know that in most of the private schools I'm talking about, many people lose their job. But those who develop their job to career and profession, those who could develop it so, they are finding easily, placement in this field also. But those who could not develop that, they are struggling to get a job now. So dear youths, those who are doing their education and seeking for a job, have a vision about things, a holistic vision about life and job. Should not remain in job, should develop as career, should go move to profession, should move to your passion. You should be finding that. And then you may ask me a question. I know that. Sir, is it easy to get a job or a career like which will be satisfy your passion? Then you need some adjustments in that. Adjustments in the sense that finding, you should be finding or suiting yourself to the available situations too. A compromise in that. That compromise is not just shutting down. It's not like surrendering, succumbing. No, it's intellectual compromise I'm talking about. I'm not saying that you bow your head on things like that. So that is what, better I think. I would like to get your questions. I was told, Mr. Ashraf, that I would like to address the questions of your audience so that I'll be getting benefit of that. When I'm talking to you, you may sometimes find something in that and I won't get anything. So how do you think, Mr. Ashraf? Let us start an interaction, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good, right? Or you want me to, like everybody in this world lives for manifesting oneself, right? No, manifestation of ourselves. That's what Swami Vivekananda said. The aim of education is manifestation of all perfection. But now in this, evening meeting, I invited some of my teachers. They are joined. I think they are listening to me, and so that's I'm not going much to what you call like hidden parts. Somewhere we put curtains, carpets too. I'm not going to that. So I think we can have a discussion on that. I invite your questions. I don't offer like I'll be answering all questions. Definitely, I'll be answering all questions. Where I like to answer you some answers like I don't want to. Your one question is capable of making me to understand, or realize my ignorance. Definitely, I'll be grateful for that. So please let us go for a dialogue session. I don't have much idea about your participants, except those who are there, those known to me. Please, any question from you?
Yeah, actually, one question I will ask.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, see, what is the starting point? I mean, this holistic education, right? At what age? See, now we are already getting into, so many people are already getting into college, and school age is already over. And then maybe in the next generation we have to look actually. So
Yeah.
what's the best starting point? For
See,
this education.
Ashraf ji, actually, we should not limit holistic education in formal education. We should not limit holistic education in formal education, because always human being, the software of human being is searching for something new around us. So it starts from very childhood itself, even before formal education. See, now I used to write things. Sometimes my observation about life, and micro level observation about my life, when I was 2 years old, maybe 3 years old, something I can recall, and I just add feathers on that. So that's the moment which you can get some write-ups in my FB. See, those narrations, life-related narration. It's not just story fictions actually. When you go through that, it's of small age. That's the moment which I narrate in those stories or those fictions. That moment is a holistic moment where my body, soul, mind, all my consciousness combined together, enjoyed that moment. That's why at this age of 54, I remember that, and I'm capable of moving my pen on that. So there is no age limit for holistic education. It's a continuous process of realizing and you are connecting your consciousness with your social existence. You're connecting your consciousness with your social existence. That is what you are moving out from you to the whole. You are recognizing yourself as a part of this nature. So there is no age limit for that. You can be a holistic learner at the age of 2 and at the age of 82. See, now in this, when I am addressing it, if you are asking me a question like, what is the basic problem of our education system, Indian education system? When I compare Indian education system with, I'm just leading this particular point to have argument with some eminent people are seen with their names in this, display on my screen. So the basic problem of Indian education is that it is now information based. Now all courses you see, it's all with its curriculum, syllabus, it's all information based, and it's driven by transmission. Teachers are there. What do they think? They think sometimes the teachers think like that. My job is to transmit that syllabus or whatever you call it, curriculum or syllabus or lesson to the child. That transmission process. It's not actually transmission. It's not education. Information based, it's not education. Rightly in Indian philosophy, education should be character based, and it should be driven by not transmission, rather transformation. Child should get transformation, but it's not happening. That's the complaint. That's the problem actually. Now I think those who are involved in education will have lots of questions to ask you. So let us move with questions and answers. Yeah. uh, I expected to have a virtual platform where people will come for face-to-face discussion. But I think it's your routine process like that is why all are nobody is visible on screen of me except me. So please feel free. Last, in a limited public meeting because of pandemic, when I stood up to talk on stage, rather going through the formal discussions, when I started in a very cool way, in a very common way, like a common talk, like I said sorry to the organizers by saying that I am not formal at this moment. Let me be free. Why should I trouble for the audience? I'll talk. Now I feel to tell you like that. Let me be free. You please go on shooting questions to me. Let us talk. Let us talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually the key differences, right? So how do we uh, make sure that this holistic education is really having an impact on the students? Do we have any measured benefit?
It depends upon like we call it like, let us take one terminology, for example, emotional intelligence. We call it emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the capacity of a human being to choose his thoughts, actions and feelings for his well-being. How many educated people are capable of choosing their actions, thoughts and feelings for the well-being of their life? See, we can, when we go to issues like family issues, even we can see highly educated people, they are getting collapsed with their family life. They are not satisfied. High professionals, they complain about their life. Why? Because they don't have a right holistic education. They had education, maybe no holistic education, no, not capable of connecting life with their knowledge. When we say that your knowledge and your realization should be connected, it should be connected. If it's not connected, that should be the you may be highly educated but not capable of even settling a small problem or issue of your life. That is how it is. I understand your joy, your pleasure, your success, everything is in your understanding. So now, see, being a teacher, when I move out from my home, my society has a concept about what's a teacher, like what's teacher's dressing or what's teacher's way of walking, everything. And when I bring some reform in my style, they ask me, sir, what happened to you? I will have to address that also. It's all framed. We have to move out from that frame without disturbing our social existence. That's again I say honesty. Yeah, Slav. I think I could address you, right?
Correct. Thank you.
Is there any confusion? You need to energize your, soldiers because I'm ready for a war.
Yeah, I think soldiers can ask
Yeah,
questions. Yeah.
I can see some of my teachers too. They are familiar to me, so they can also ask, or anybody. I'd like to get question from strangers.
And how prepared are these teachers, for the subject? Because see, we are all mostly from the traditional way, right? Most of the teachers in here, and so even yourself, right? We all came from a different, generation altogether. So, how prepared are these teachers to give this type of connected education, basically?
Teachers, you mean you are talking about generation gap in teacher and student?
No, no. See, what I'm trying to say is the current, the level of teachers, right? See, first of all, you are actually consultant to many schools, right?
Yeah,
So, if you wanted to start or, bring this tradition to one of the school,
yeah.
first thing is you have to educate the teachers, right?
Yes, of course, of course. We have to train
So,
them.
there is today there school teachers are like a B.Ed and other kind of MPhil, different degrees they take, right? So,
Yeah.
are they really studying this concept in their?
They actually they do learn all these things as a part of their theory, but when they come to the practice, actually they will have to compromise with the existing system of that institution, whatever it is. Every institution has got their own frame, so naturally the adaptability of the teacher is capable of, because a teacher is capable of definitely to get adopted with that system. But problem is that if system is not well defined or not well professional, then comes the problem. As you asked me when I came back to Kerala and took up my assignment in different schools. I didn't find much problem to tune the teachers. So it means that they have that, but at the same time, when I'm disturbing their comfort zone, when I'm disturbing with my action plan their comfort zone, there will be some good, but like some very short period. But through training, we'll be capable of making them understand this is the best for them, this is the best for their children. They will compromise. A teacher will definitely ready to move out from a comfort zone to a hard zone for the well-being and benefit of the child. That's why she is called a teacher. So in nutshell, I can tell you that I didn't find much difficulties or confrontation with the soldiers, but still like a 10 or 20% I had to, sometimes I have to move for termination or a correction in that. But otherwise most of the places, like I could be principal in 6 schools, right? There I could make them to mix with that or to join with these holistic system of education. I could be successfully implement holistic education in all these schools by not calling it holistic education or a new system, rather by realizing. For example, I can tell you, when I take up the task of a school, I really do a scanning of the schooling system. I really understand which all are the statues, erected there in that system, which all are the sacred activities of that system. I will just learn that, and without disturbing all these things, I'll start slowly to change it. So it's very easy for me to train my soldiers for that war. There's no problem like a generation gap or something like that. That's all we can very simply overcome. There's no like now when online classes started, I heard this complaint like most of the teachers are technically migrant. I mean, yeah, migrants. Students are natives. So terminology like. all are natives, or all are actually migrants. So some, we are not using very high sophisticated technology or something like for online class. It's very basic things we are applying. Whatever, you are doing basic things only. Everybody is getting tuned with that. Every 1% or 2%, those who are so stiff to move up with the technology, they may find difficult. That's only. There is no gap like that, Mr. Ashok.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So educators, teachers, and students, if you
And
ask me something, I'll be getting enjoyed that.
yeah, one more question I may ask, and then by the time others can prepare, right?
Please, please, please.
And this creative edacity, the one you are actually working as a CEO or something,
Yeah,
in Palakkad, right?
yeah,
Can you
yeah.
just give some kind of education you're planning there?
See, actually, this is they have got a school now, and now they are building up the college also. It's on track, and the school is located in Tasrak. Tasrak means Gazak. It's not to all Malayalis, Gazak. It's popular for that novel Gazak in the Idihasam written by
Okay.
O.V. Vijayan sir. So actually, when I got an assignment there, it's because of this name of this place I took up there. They are giving fine, holistic education, complete education, because they are intended to help to work out the right human being from the school. So all teachers are trained for that, not just doctors or engineers or professionals coming out. It should be helping to come out to work out the right human being from the school. So that passion is given by the teachers. That passion is given. We have got training system, number of trainings we are planning for the academic year, and those who are newly got job, newly admitted as teacher in the school, they will be given special training. So it's a complete framed system. You will get its website also, the idea. So all are propagating these only, but practicing by very few. That is what. It's a fine institution actually there in Palakkad district now, creating popular school coming up. Now last year they got the affiliation from CBSE also, and
Okay.
now planning to have the affiliation from another boards. So a Jew city actually with all different school affiliations like state board, central board, ICSE, IGCSE, IB, like all.
And even colleges too. Huh?
Yeah, of course, they are coming up for that. Now, some blocks are there because of the pandemic, but definitely they will overcome. They will overcome that. That's a very good society on that. Yeah. Now, when I was introduced, actually, she didn't mention about my present one institution, Farouk Education Society, Kottakkal. Farouk Education Society actually is a landmark in Kottakkal. We have got B.Ed College, Farouk B.Ed College, Farouk D.Ed Center, Farouk School, higher secondary school. And from actually, it's a big empire at Kottakkal, from KG to PG and B.Ed. So if you admit a child in LKG, the child can walk out after PG and B.Ed from there. So it's rightly a facilitation in that sense. I think the one who introduced to me could not mention that name. I could serve for Greenwoods institutions at Kasargod also for a time being. That was also a pleasure, actually a joyful job for me at the north end of Kerala. Yes, I think something, Mr. Khalid Mangalat. Yeah, I was requested till for 1 hour. I think it's now 43 minutes over, and no questions.
Yeah, you all can start asking questions, right? If do you have any
This is
Basically,
the
the
problem.
answer.
Actually, Ashrafji, this is the problem even in our classroom. Nobody asks questions. And when they ask questions, they will shoot questions like anything and पूरा आपको मार डालेगा बस. Yeah. Please. Who is the moderator, Mr. Ashraf? Let them promote for the questions.
Yeah, they can even put it in the chat if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have got non-Malayalis right now. Only Malayalis are there in your platform? No.
There are others also. Actually, they are basically from Kerala, but
Yeah.
they
So
are
you can
using
shoot
other-
me questions in Hindi, English, or in Malayalam.
any
And
language.
slightly I can understand Arabic also. But don't ask. Please.
Don't say like that. If you say like you can ask anybody. You can ask Arabic.
Yeah, Khalid ji, I know that you may ask questions. I'll answer you also. But we will understand what your question and answer.
Let me start with Arabic.
Yeah, no problem. But definitely I will address your question. Maybe you won't understand my answer.
Then everybody start to do,
We'll have a very
left from
interactive
this group.
session in Arabic.
Yeah, Nasreen, please say. Yeah. Nasreen, woman in technology, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you started your like meeting and all?
Yes. Yeah, the conference was over.
It's over. How was it
Yes.
like?
Yes, it was very nice. We had to interact with lots of people from different parts of the world, like let it be West Africa, Nigeria, America, US, Dubai, Bahrain, everybody.
Could
It
you
was so
find
nice.
more intelligent people than Malayalis there?
Intelligence, it's like we Malayalis stand in the top, right? In
Yeah, that's
intelligence.
what. I can share one incident with you. I was gone for an education concert there in Doha once. It was in 2001. So when I went there, it's all very great people on stage. I went to present my first paper in holistic education there. Okay, so when I was looking around on stage, very eminent people are there. I was thinking like, how can I stand there? And then I just pointed it to the very top person that said, "Sir, I know you." I said, "Sir, I know you." He said, "Yeah, I know you. I know that you are very intelligent like me." I said, he started laughing and look at me, very, very interesting. Yeah, that's so. Could you do so, Nasreen? Did you feel any problem in communication or sharing of idea in your goals meet, Nasreen? No. Anyway, I advise you one thing that you share your
Yeah, see,
experiences
in this
with.
conference,
Yeah.
in this conference, it was a mixture of people from different parts of the world. And then we had an app whose name is WOWA. It's similarly like Zoom. So we had many breakout sessions over there. And in the starting, like before the starting of the summit, like before the World Summit, we'll be having a breakout room where everybody will be kept in a room. So we can exactly mingle with lots of people, and then we can even maintain their contact through LinkedIn. They don't have a kind of email ID or WhatsApp number or something. They just have a LinkedIn account. So we can contact them through LinkedIn. And then the main thing is I found somebody from Canada also over there.
Yeah.
She is in Alberta. Nice. That is nice.
So she
And
must
then-
be talking about Nasreen in her homeland, right? By saying I met a Malayali girl, Nasreen.
Yeah. And then we had a West Africa, like a ma'am from West Africa. She was like, yeah, she had heard a lot about India, so she wanted to come over there. I told, yes, it is a very good place. You have to visit. And the best part is the food. The food is so nice. So she told me, oh my God, you are making my want. You are like, making me so urged. Sometimes I might come right now.
Yeah, Nasreen, you pen your experiences. Write down all these things. What's your experience, and go on top on that with your friends. You are, those who are doing like you, graduation and all. Address the public with your experience. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
You can sharpen your weapon in that.
Yeah,
Actually,
the only thing.
Yeah.
The only thing that I have to say is like, don't never miss the opportunities. We have a lot of opportunities in front of us, but then we don't even do care about that. We don't even, you know, value all those things. The only thing that I have to say is value everything. There are lots of opportunities open for us, so just make use of everything. Like
And
even be the simple.
unfortunately, people find difficulties in opportunities right
Yeah,
now.
even for this, yeah, for this, ma'am, just put the screenshot of that in our group. So I asked everybody, like, why don't everybody do that? Why didn't they apply that? So the thing they told me is like, it is an international level, so there might be interviews, and we have to speak in English. So they told me they are not interested in speaking in English. They don't know how to speak in English. So I told them, just apply. The next stage of selection or the next stage of going forth is the next. This is the only thing you have to do is to apply for that.
Yeah,
So everybody
that's
was
what
telling,
I
I don't think.
appreciate you. I could learn it like that. You find opportunities. You go and you search for opportunities. And see, we have to struggle to establish ourselves, to manifest ourselves, as I said, and do that. And when the opportunities will not knock at your doors always. Right now, you
Mm-hmm,
have to
yeah,
rightly open your door. People cry on opportunities when it's lost.
yeah, that's
In
true.
our age, when I was doing my college graduation and all, no such formalities, like international meeting or nothing like that. Must
Mm-hmm.
be having, but no information on that. Nowadays, you can search
You
in
can search,
Google. You
yeah.
can find out. You can apply
Mm-hmm.
all sort of facilities that will be supported with scholarships and all.
Yeah,
That's
that's
how
true.
it is.
Yeah, even my father used to say that. Yeah, he felt, he studied till 10th. He was in India. So like till +2 he completed in India. So after +2 he went to Bangalore. So he learned in a very Indian school, whereby the medium of language is totally like Malayalam. So he couldn't adjust to the situation over there. He find a lot of problem adjusting over there, but still he tried a lot. 1 month, I think 1 month totally he was numb. Like he couldn't understand what was being taught in the class. So
That's
so
right.
he told me, I totally worked hard because I couldn't understand anything what the teachers are even saying. So, but from there he learned a lot.
So
He
let
started
me
learning.
ask you one thing. We said about holistic education today, right now.
Sorry, sir.
We were talking about holistic education, right now.
Yeah.
So the education what you got in your schooling, your college, do you think that you were capable of realizing what you are, and you were capable of realizing how your consciousness is connected with your social existence?
Yes, of course. From schools or from our colleges, from our nursery or somewhere, it doesn't mean like we learn only what is being taught in the class. We learn a lot of things within the class. Like from being within a population of students, we learn a
You
lot.
mean
Like
it's not information based? It's not restricted to the informations only.
yes, it's not because see, we learn a lot, right? We learn what is being taught in the class. The teacher teaches us a lot of things. It doesn't mean like school is only for learning. Like
No,
we
no,
will.
Nasreen, I'll make it convenient for you. Whether you got information or you got knowledge or you got wisdom from your school. You did your
Yes.
schooling in Dubai, you said, right?
Yes, I completed. I was there till 10th. New Indian Model School,
Indian
Dubai.
model. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
It
model.
was my platform too, in fact, for last 12 years. You did there 10
Yeah.
years, right?
Yes.
I was there for 12 years.
Yeah, and then I think my entry was your exit. It
Yeah,
was.
must be.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So many are there known to me. Mrs. Sahira Robe, Sahira Robe. I think, yeah. Please shoot your questions. We have limited time only. Only Nasreen and Ashraf ji asked me some questions, and Khalid Saab threatened me by saying last week we'll be asking questions in Arabic. So you came just to, create a threat to me, Mr. Khalid, right?
A kind of interaction.
Yeah, yeah. He is my close friend. Yeah. Shamsudheen.
Actually, you should, make them ask questions by, telling some
Oh, it's
stories.
my responsibility.
Some stories you need to
I'm,
bring.
now, see, I'm supposed to make people to ask me questions. Yeah, I said about lots of things. Even I made the statements of contradictions to provoke you to ask me questions. I said about how to move from from your education to job, job to career, career to profession, profession to passion, passion to mission. I'm talking about the whole life. So there are lots of things to ask on these all things. But if you don't come with the questions, this is what I can bring you to, your attention. I'm sorry, your attention to all these things.
See,
And
can I ask you one thing? When
yeah,
you were small, okay, when you were small, did you
Hmm.
have a kind of ambition to be a teacher? Like, did you even think
No,
of being a
no.
teacher?
See, my father was in army, no, so I
Uh-huh.
was highly passionate for uniform. I wanted to be a police officer. In the initial stage, policeman, I call myself. But later I wanted to be a police officer. So I joined in NCC when I was there in college. And
Yeah.
I wrote my test also. I was got selected also, but unfortunately I had to move. That's the thing. See, but I'm not saying that it was not a single ambition like or hard ambition. That's what I'm saying. If you are rightly holistic educated, you will not get desperated, or you'll have second option also, third option also. I'm very happy, so happy in my career, my profession, and everything. So because I'm satisfied much. See, I can narrate you briefly like that. 12 years I worked as a teacher in NI Model School. 12 years, in these 12 years I worked a complete lifespan job of a teacher. Then 12 years I worked as principal, administrator in schools. There a complete span of principal would have done. Now third stage of my, I said my mission. These I started now. I am connected to many institutions, so I can say that I'm very happy. Yes,
Wow.
very happy.
Unexpectedly, very happily.
Yeah, that's what I think, and that's this is the reason that people are scared to ask questions too. When your
Hello,
age is, yeah, please,
my
yeah,
name is Jeff.
yeah, Jeff.
So I just wanted to ask you, like, what do you think about these online classes that are going on right now? Like, do you think it's better than the before, or online classes are worse than before the face-to-face teaching? Which one is better and why?
Definitely face-to-face teaching I prefer, because you see, when we teach someone, we can look at the micro movements of the face, and it's very easy to understand that how far the child could learn. And face-to-face conversation is the best method of teaching. But now we don't have to talk, I think, more about that now. Why? Because we don't have that option. We don't have that option.
Exactly.
Yeah, when don't have that option, when we talk about that, we will go more into the alleys of desperation. So what I think, this is a challenge, online teaching. So most of the schools now, rather going for TV classes, they are going for interactive classes, and they are applying threefold strategy also. Teachers send a 6-7 minutes short video of the content video to the children. They go through that. They understand this is the, we use the word focus points rightly of the syllabus of what to learn today, and they understand that. Then they come to the online class for interaction with the teacher, second tier of that. And the third tier, teacher gives all like notes, assignments, and everything. So in one tier, what we were doing, now we are applying three tier and just doing that. But still, Mr. Jeff, I must tell you that being a teacher, when I go, many teachers are there. It's not what you call, you can have when you want to talk to your mother, when I want to talk to my mother, I can give a video call and talk, but it's different from when I'm going and meeting my mother and I'm just touching my mother, and when my mother touch me, I get a touch of healing to me. that online I won't get, right?
Exactly. I had an answer in my mind, and you just said exactly what I had in my mind. So
Thank you.
I totally agree with that. And I have another question as well.
Yes, please.
So there is a thing that's going on in CBSE schools and some of the ICSEs also. Like you have to talk in English. If you don't, you will get a fine. What do you think about that? Like I'm a student that I study in a, I studied in actually in a Malayalam medium standard, right, in government school. So I think I speak better than 90% of the other people who study in CBSE and everyone else. Like that's literally the fact. But I'm just asking, like, what do you think about forcing someone to like study a language
You
in
see,
schools?
yeah, Mr. Jeff, it's quite human nature. When you are forced for something, you will have a temptation to violate that. I can
Exactly
show
my
you.
point.
Yeah, I can show you an example. The best school in that case is, this Mary Roy School, Pallikudam. It's called
All right.
Pallikudam. That school, there's no force for language. You can use any language, but they are very good in their language. So, there are some schools I can tell you where they find it strange when they speak Malayalam, they promote it. They say, okay, we would like to hear your, what you call your, your language. Even I can give one another example. Best school, that is Howard Gardner School Laboratory. That's one of the best school in the world. Suppose a child from Kerala is taking admission in Howard Gardner's school, they will inform all other students like we are going to get a student from Kerala. You do a research about Kerala children, Kerala food, Kerala dress and everything. Okay. And what do they do actually? They prepare a group of children for eating Kerala food. They prepare group of children for wearing Kerala dress. They prepare group of children to learn about Kerala culture. So when this child is very strange, this child is coming to that school from Kerala, she won't feel like in a new place. What I said is that if you give freedom, you will learn more.
Yes, I totally agree on that, because when you force a kid, like we all been there, right? We all been a kid before we get into adults. So when we force someone, like when we force a kid to do something, he doesn't want to do it. If we force them, like there is a guy who, like there is a physicist or scientist that said, like if you hate physics, you're learning it from the wrong teacher. Same as the English or any other language. In my opinion, if you're forcing them to learn it, like you have to make them understand what you need English. It's an universal language. You can use it anywhere you go. You have to tell them how good it is and make them want to study it. Not like you have to study it or we will like make you like pay fine or penalty. That way they will be like, you know what? I'm just going to speak English in front of the teacher and I'm not going to do it afterwards. Like they just want to be pretended.
Yes, yes, yes. It's not genuine, of course. And see that if you are giving a platform of freedom, they will come up like. See, I give a preschool counseling to these new beginners right now. So I train the parents not to talk anything negative or anything forced on school. Like it may, I can find many children are developing school phobia because of this. So force will cause for a phobia.
Yeah, yeah. I'm really happy some of these teachers are like you. Like
Thank you.
some teachers doesn't like get it. Like when a student, I'm a student myself. When I tell teacher something like, teacher, this is what I want. Like this is what I want. They're like, you don't know anything. They just be an arrogant and they just like ignore everything you say, right? So there is some teachers in our life, like we can tell them anything. Like, teacher, I didn't understand that, and they're gonna come to us and like it's okay not to understand, right? Like that's a touch you told me about like before when it comes to a mother calling face to face. That's what I was saying. Like some people doesn't like to go to school because they get bullied, and they don't even like, some of the teachers are bullying. I'm not offending any teachers, but some of the words they say, I even see it in my class. They say some things and they don't know they are bullying the kid, but they're actually bullying the kid because they're like making fun of the kid in front of the whole class. So there is some good teachers and bad teachers, but I'm not saying there is bad teachers. No, I can't say that. I'm not in, no, I don't have any right to say that. But still, in from a student perspective, we need more teachers like you who do understand our feelings and things like that.
Thank you. That's an appreciation. See, one thing, the only thing what we have to make a child understand is that a child should understand my learning is my responsibility. That status, when a child realizes that my learning is my responsibility, you leave the child. That's how we learn. That's how we learned. That's how people in my generation learned. There was no force. Even when we were going to school, nobody is asking like whether you wrote that note or not. Do you have the note? Sometimes you won't see all the textbooks of that particular class, but we learn. I don't know how, but we learn. That's how it's force is not good at all. Force actually it resembles, as I said, negativity. Reactions comes. Not
Exactly.
reflection.
Thank you so much for
Not reflection.
understanding. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Mate. You're welcome. So yeah, it's very nicely. Yes, we could have that discussion. A very good question and a very good way that we could drive. That's what I'm saying, all of you. If you put questions, and I told Mr. Ashraf also, if somebody is troubling me with a hard question, I'll be very happy this day.
Yeah, anybody
So,
else? Any other questions? Anybody?
last week, when I was addressing a platform, education platform, it was an international platform. See, but a lot of questions like I could not complete things on time rightly, but see different levels of questions. Sometimes they were saying like that, but maybe my question is not up to the mark, but still I want to ask you. I want to clear it from you. So please don't bother about the standard or level of question. You ask. We will discuss any level questions.
And I think Jeff is your relative, Shamsu.
Who is it?
Jeff.
Jeffrey.
He's from actually he's from Atlanta, I think Maryland.
I see.
Connected to that Umar, no?
What a code. I could not, rightly recognize the person.
Yes, yeah. That's my fam. That's my fam right there, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud.
Yeah. Now, well, I could get it from Mr. Ashraf actually. I could not recognize him.
Yeah, even the name, no.
Yeah.
I couldn't make out. I asked him in the
Yes.
chat.
It's a proudful thing that to learn.
Yeah.
Rightly.
Yeah. Anyway, Jeff, you can keep involving. Actually, we want people like you.
Oh, thank you so much. Like, yeah, my mom told me like, there's a thing going on in this Zoom, and you should get into it. Like, there's people we know. There's our fam, and I was like, okay, I want to know that. I want to get into it. And I'm here, and I'm so happy. Like, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Thank you. It works a lot for me, in fact. When in a family meet, actually 2 weeks back, when I got Sunira online, I was sharing her experience also. He was told me, Jeff, you know Sunira, right now?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah. I had a talk with her personally, and she said when she attended an interview there in America in a bank, so she was got a question like from the director of the bank, what do you long? What do you long in our bank job? Like she said immediately, I long for your chair. I long for your chair. I look for your chair, and that's the reason. For that answer, she got the job in that bank.
She's on a different level. She's on a different level.
That's right. And I was very proudly, proclaiming that. So you are my daughter, right? She's my brother's daughter, actually. She's my daughter.
Yeah. That's proud moment when we like. Mom told me about it, and I was like, damn, Mom, I can't. Like, that's so big, right? That's so big news, and she's one of our fam, and that's good. Like,
Nice. Convey my regards to your family too. Thank you.
yes.
Wow. We are having a lot of arms over there.
We are collecting more family.
Nasreen, you are also from Vadakot family, right now?
Sure. I'm also
Your husband, Chumel, right?
yes.
Wonderful thing. I think this family contains a lot of genius, right?
See.
Yeah, it is. It's the kind of
I know it's to tempt Mr. Ashraf. Actually, others that they should feel like not only very good, we are all here right now. They will shoot questions, Now we three are ready, Ashraf, Jeff, myself, and Nasrin from same family to address any question from anybody.
Exactly. I love to debate. I love to
We are
discuss about
challenging.
topics.
We are challenging
Yeah,
Jeff now.
I am. Yeah, I am challenging anyone who want to talk about the topic and beat me to it.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
And it's totally hijacked now, right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talk to team to talk today hijacked by Vodakut team members.
Family.
Now,
Yeah.
Yeah, but in
Yes.
Kerala, no, if you wanted to get popular,
Yeah,
you have to do some dance in that medical college and all, no?
yeah, of course.
Otherwise, it's very difficult.
That on the name of Rasputin.
Yeah.
Was cause for Russian Revolution.
Okay. So I think we are almost
Yeah,
done.
it's
So I
the
will.
time for wind up, I think, right? You please proceed
Yeah.
with your formalities, please.
Yeah. The next one, I'll call Nasreen to give a vote of thanks.
Nice.
Nasreen.
So it's indeed a great opportunity to give this feedback in this session. So I thank the organizers of Team 2 for conducting such a wonderful session, like a very good interactive session with Shamsudheen sir. The whole organization of the whole session was very engaging and was very memorable. It started with a welcome speech by Ms. Hanan. Thank you, Hanan, for the wonderful welcome speech. Thank you, Dia, for the guest introduction. It was literally nice, which contained every points of sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Shamsudheen, sir, for the time you took to deliver such a great speech. It was very interactive and very happy. It made me literally happy that you are a member of Vodakut, which is a kind of, great point in us. So thank you for for delivering a speech about holistic education, and it's very engaging and very effective. So indeed, we'll again see such a great speakers like you again in our sessions abroad. So nice. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for giving us a great time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night to all of you. May God bless you. Thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you. With this, I am adjourning the meeting today. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.